New church, following up our message on contentment and not lying from this last Sunday. I wanted to give you some next steps. I wanted to drill down a little bit into one of the passages we referenced, and that's in 1 Timothy chapter 6. Chapter 6, verse 6 says, "Yet true godliness with contentment is itself great wealth. After all, we brought nothing with us when we came into the world, and we can't take anything with us when we leave it. So if we have enough food and clothing, let us be content." Let's go on a few verses. "But people who long to be rich fall into temptation and are trapped by many foolish and harmful desires that plunge them into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. And some people, craving money, have wandered from the true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows." Man, what a stark warning that is. And we don't often think about that. We think that money can solve all of our problems, right? But look at the danger. Look at the words that Paul uses here. He says, those who long to be rich, that they are trapped by their desires that plunge them into ruin and destruction. It says that people craving money have wandered from the truth and true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows. So when we think about like that, that's the end of a lack of contentment. That's what covetousness is, that desire for more, the belief that we don't have enough, the belief that we need more, that God has not given us what we need. That desire plunges us into all sorts of sorrows and ruin. And then if you go back up to verse 6, what does he say? He says, "But true godliness with contentment is great wealth." It's great wealth. Like, you are rich if you are godly and content. That's true riches. And I've just been blessed by that thought, thinking, how opposite is that of our culture, of our world that belittles godliness and never believes that they have enough. So I just want to challenge you as you think about how you can grow in your contentment, how you can avoid covetousness. And I want to encourage you with one particular practical way to do this is to grow in generosity, is to adopt this mindset that I have enough. I have more than enough. And you see, that attitude, if you can't have that attitude with your current level of financial blessing or resources, I'm just going to tell you, it's more about your attitude than your bank account. It's more about what you have in here than what you have in the bank. I remember one time there's a homeless guy that was at our church, and we were taking up a special offering for a young family who lost a baby. And we were just trying to cover some of their costs and some of their needs. And this homeless guy after church, he waved me over, and I went over and talked with him, and he pulls out $5. And he's like, "Man, I wish I had more, but I have this and I want to give this to that family." And it was kind of one of those, moments of, the widow and the two mites that Jesus talked about. And it was really an attitude. It was an attitude of saying, hey, I have nothing, but I have what I need. And God's going to take care of me. And it was a huge blessing. It was $5, but it wasn't about the material of it. It was about the heart. And I'll never forget that. So anyways, contentment, godliness is great wealth. So man, I pray that you will walk in richness today, not in the prosperity gospel type of way, but that you will be content and that you will be godly, and that God will change you through that, and in turn change the lives of many other people. So God bless you, and keep taking those next steps.